The sands of Southwick awoke to the sound of AMA Motocross on June 6, 1976. Pierre Cars makers won the first 250 National aboard a Honda. Bob Hanna won the 78 race, and then almost a decade later, won one of his last 250 motos in Massachusetts. Ken Howerton became the first three-time winner in 1981. Rick Johnson was a two-time winner in 86 and 87. Jeff Stanton would finish off the 80s, becoming the king of the sand in 92 with his fourth consecutive victory. From 1997 to 99, John Dowd, Doug Henry, and Ezra Lusk beat the elements and added their names to the Motocross 338 record book. Ricky Carmichael added his name in 2000, and today will try to tie Jeff Stanton with his fourth consecutive Southwick Motocross win. Welcome to Massachusetts for the AMA Chevy Trucks U.S. Motocross Championships. Today, it's the American Suzuki presents Motocross 338 from Southwick, Massachusetts. And hello once again, everybody. Todd Harris along with the champ David Bailey and Cameron Steele on a beautiful day. But David, yesterday this was not the case. Saturday brought rain and plenty of it.
Now, these are the riders in staging waiting to go out on the racetrack. The rain looked like that the entire day. They were trying to keep the track from flooding, and it's the worst conditions I've ever seen here at Southwick.
Well, they made their way through the action yesterday, but today the rain has let up. The temperature, 67 degrees, and the weather forecast calling for overcast, 30% chance of afternoon showers. Let's hope that holds off for the riders' sake. Speaking of the riders, everyone seems to be in chase mode with Ricky Carmichael, and the best man right now is Kevin Windham.
Well, Ricky is fast here at Southwick. If there's one track on the circuit that might be not so great for Kevin Windham, it would be this track here. But he looked good yesterday, as did the Yamaha guys and Chad Reed, who loves the sand.
Chad Reed loves the sand indeed. Spent a little time in Europe preparing for it, but he knows now is the time for him to start making a charge if he wants any shot at getting near a title this year.
I feel good. I really like the sand. It's a lot of fun. It's something that I, had to learn when I was in Europe, and I was there for a year, and riding in it a lot. Definitely coming here, it feels good. We've had a weekend off to work on a few things, and it'd be nice to come back and win some races.
So that's the story from Chad Reed. Meanwhile, it's Ricky Carmichael who's chasing history. There you see Jeff Stanton's record of 4 wins at Southwick, and David, Ricky looks like that is certainly doable today.
Well, that's what he was facing in Daytona, and he was able to tie that. This is him winning last year. And, Carmichael is, he has the tools to do well in the sand. He's from Florida. He likes it hot. It's probably not hot enough today. It's still overcast, but very strong in sandy conditions.
I grew up in the sand. That has a lot to do with it, and I'm in good shape, and that helps also. And the only thing, I wish it was like 120 out. It's a lot of these guys been getting a break with it being cool. I don't think we've had a hot national in a couple years, but that's the way it goes, and it's still going to be tough as heck out here today. It's really, really rough, and with it being wet, it even gets rougher. So you're going to see some vapor in today from people.
Well, before we release them, let's check in with the third member of our broadcast team, Cameron Steele, who's down on the line for a report on a very popular local rider. Well, guys, if there's one guy that's a local favorite around here, it's the number 19 Yamaha, Doug Henry, coming out of retirement. The last couple years of race here at Southwick. He hasn't raced a full season since 1999. He's got 3 national championships and 3 wins at this track, and he is ready for this one. We talked to him earlier about his preparation for this race.
At the end of last year, I got my knee done, so my ACL is all better now, so I was able to ride a lot more this year without being in pain. So I was pretty much trying to do something. I was trying to do a little bit every week, whether it was a bicycle ride or ride my motorcycle. I play hockey and kind of, stick with that stuff. Here's his wife, Stacy, making sure that all the sand is off of that. It's actually not a concrete grid here. She's going good? Yes? No? It's so much more mellow for Doug. I mean, I was looking for him in the pits. He's not in the actual pits. He's over in the woods. He's got some friends working on his bike, and Man, what a different approach compared to somebody like Carmichael.
As we take a look at the Suzuki starting grid, there is Ricky Carmichael, number 4, Chad Reeves, 22, Ferry, Kevin Windham's in there as well, and the rest of the field, including Clark Stiles, Nick Way, and Nathan Ramsey.
Hey, the starting grid, though, here is it's not a cement starting pad like it is at a lot of the races. It's actually asphalt, and there's a little groove in a lot of those starting positions. Some of the riders are staying in that groove. Some of them are moving just to the side. We'll see what works the best.
Well, the 30 board is sideways here at Southwick, Mass, and we are away clean into the front of the pack right off the bat, David. Somewhat of a surprise, and Nathan Ramsey has perfect positioning.
Great start. Carmichael's there. So is Doug Henry. Larry Ward and Kevin Windham on those big 450s, the same bike that Ramsey's got, so that uphill stand start benefiting the 4-strokes. Already a pass by Doug Henry, shoving Carmichael wide. That's usually what he does to people, so Doug already asserting himself, get around the fastest rider on the circuit so far.
Nathan Ramsey, your leader, number 25 on board the Honda, and here comes Doug Henry. He goes up high, dives down low, in front of Carmichael, but just behind number 10, Larry Ward.
Vision is going to be the toughest thing today. You can see Larry Ward's going wide. Oh, a little mistake. That lets Henry into second, but you can see that Ramsey is completely clean, and everybody from second on back is already covered. And that's just not hitting their body. That's all over the goggle lenses as well. These guys got to find the right time to reach up and clear that.
Doug Henry, number 19 from Torrington, Connecticut, on board the Yamaha. The hometown favorite here. The folks out are lining the track, cheering him on. Ricky Carmichael, the overall leader in the series right now, number 4, sits in 3rd place.
Well, you'd think that Carmichael could just stay behind Henry for a lap or two and see what he's up to, all the good lines and all that, but Ricky pretty much knows that. He's not one to wait around. I don't think he wants to hear anymore. There's been enough cheers for Kevin Windham this year. Ricky's the winningest guy. Now he's following around the most popular rider here, Doug Henry, heading down to the brand new section, which he helped create. So this guy is, he does it all up here in New England.
It's Windham, Henry, and Carmichael right now going 1, 2, and 3, and Ricky Carmichael starting to close in there. You see he's trying to clear his vision. Everyone takes the opportunity to clear their vision. And David, the rain that came down yesterday is certainly apparent. Ricky pointed it out. It's going to be rough today.
Yeah, it's not quite rough enough in this moto to where these guys are really going to get that tired. Maybe towards the very end, but the thing about sand is that it just changes lap after lap. There's Stacy. Not that much real important information going on the board. Just, hey, go out there and have some fun, honey.
TIMMY FERRY now moving into the 4th place, the 15 bike on board the Yamaha. But right now it is all Nathan Ramsey out in front, as David pointed out. Very clean, steam out of the roost. And Henry, battling for first, makes a very dicey dive down in there. And lucky he didn't catch the back tire of Ramsey.
Look at Ricky working all over him. He's like, I don't want to follow this guy anymore. I don't know what he's going to do. We're riding only one race a year. He's going to take big chances. Ricky doesn't want to get caught up in that, making all kinds of mistakes, trying to take it to him.
Carmichael goes to the inside line, can't get around, gets stuck in the rut. Henry maintains 2nd, Nathan Ramsey in 1st, Ricky Carmichael in 3rd, TIMMY FERRY in 4th. Here it is.
Ricky took advantage of Doug reaching up to clear his vision. It looks like he's finally ahead of him. So now his teammate right up there ahead of him. That's the only thing keeping him from the lead. It's not easy to pass Doug Henry anywhere on the circuit, but especially here at Southwick. So Ricky's already done something amazing.
Well, Ricky said he loves the sand out here, and Doug Henry certainly knows this track maybe better than anyone else. Tries an inside line on Carmichael. Carmichael has way too much speed, gets around him. As we go to break, your running order: Ramsey, Carmichael, Henry, and Ferry. Welcome back to Southwick, Massachusetts. American Suzuki and your local Suzuki dealers present Motocross 338. Todd Harris along with David Bailey and Ricky Carmichael making a run on his teammate Nathan Ramsey. Closes the door, moves into 1st.
And he pushed him so wide, he let Ferry get in there as well. I understand Ricky trying to get the lead because you can't see when you're in 2nd. So as soon as he got into the lead, he pulled the tear off. So did Tim Ferry. Ramsey was able to get him back. So Honda's still running 1 and 2, but Ferry... And I think he's got to be the stronger of the two there between he and Ramsey, rather. Ferry also from Florida, loves the sand. Ramsey coming back from a broken leg, and I just don't know if he's up to the percentage he needs to be to hold off somebody like Ferry. Doug is still there. Here comes JOHN DOWD right behind Doug Henry, and then Kevin Windham. So this freight train battle up front, just bam, bam, bam. Everybody capable of winning a moto, but Ricky right now is pushing the pace and forcing all these guys to really step it up. I don't know if they can. He's already starting to get away.
Ricky has shown his versatility in so many ways. If you look at the pass one more time, you said it perfectly. He pushes Nathan Ramsey right. He gets that inside line. I think Nathan looks over and says, oh, man, there's nowhere to go.
Yeah, Ricky doesn't leave you much room. When he goes in there to make a pass, he doesn't think about it and try to make up his mind. There's no hesitation. It's up to you to just try for it and go down, take yourself out, or just let him have it. And Nathan had to let him have it. Ferry did the same thing through there. That whole sweeper, Ramsey just kind of knew it was coming. They got a pretty good lead still over Henry and Dowd, but those guys know this track, and they're going to get it more dialed in each lap.
Kevin Windham coming into view. Windham currently sitting in 6th place, number 14 on board the Honda, and there's a lot of talent, David, in those top 6 positions. Ricky Carmichael may be gone, but Windham certainly can move his way up through the pack.
Well, he can, but the hard thing about Southwick, and you can see how covered these cars are with all this dark sand and from the rain yesterday, if he gets any closer to these guys, he's going to get all that roost, and it's going to be harder to see. So, when you decide you're going to make a pass, you got to get in there and run the risk of not being able to see very good. And it looks like Kevin's just hanging back out of that roost, just trying to figure things out and see what's going on. It's hard to pass the guys that are in front of him. You got Dowd and Henry, who combined probably have more laps on this racetrack than anybody else in the class put together, including Carmichael. And it's going to be tough work for him to get around these guys, but we're still early in the race.
John Dowd, number 16, currently running in 4th place. Doug Henry just in front of him. Then you've got Tim Ferry, Nathan Ramsey, and of course your leader is Ricky Carmichael. And then we get back to Kevin Windham, who sits in 6th place. But it looks like Windham has made up his mind. He's followed enough. He's starting to reel in the rest of the pack.
Yeah, this is some of the one-line stuff where it's a little bit tougher to pass. Now, the one track on the circuit, as I talked about on top of the show, that I thought would be tough for Kevin would be this one, but he's got the pressure on these guys. It's a great freight train battle with Carmichael leading. He's starting to pull away a little bit. Uh-oh.
Bad news for American Suzuki. That is number 33, Sean Hamblin. He's gone down in a very strange place, Dave. It's not where we normally see an accident.
Just coming through a simple left-hand corner where these guys are about ready to come through. This is the new section. Now all down in there is where the pits used to be. And they circle back up around to where the finish line is. And there's Sean Hamblin laying right there. That's weird. He must have got collected with somebody else or something right there that caused him to go down.
Well, we've seen him go down before, and he's popped back up. We hope he does the same thing. This is Nathan Ramsey on the left, getting past.
It's the same corner heading into where Hamblin went down. And the two passes that have happened so far to Nathan Ramsey have been because he left a little bit too much room, and he got the guy's muscled by him on the inside. Now he's got Dowd. He won't leave him alone. And then you got Henry. He won't leave him alone. Dowd to the inside. Beautiful line.
So the next time Nathan Ramsey comes to the pit boards, they're going to say protect that inside line, because twice now he's been passed.
And that just makes number 3. He really, I don't know how comfortable he is up front. He hasn't been there in a while, but he needs to, with all the guys that are lined up behind him, you got Henry next, and then Kevin Windham, Fonseca, and Reed are moving up pretty fast, so he needs to close down those insides a little bit, just make those guys behind him work a little bit harder.
John Dowd from Ludlow, Massachusetts on board the KTM. Here's the pass one more time. On the left, number 25 is Nathan Ramsey, and there he is, opening up again.
Well, what I like about what Dowd did is right there, that berm hooks back, and a lot of the guys have been trying to stay in that line. They get a lot of wheel spin heading up the hill. Dowd knows the stand. He knows where the good traction is and how to keep his momentum. Same as Doug Henry. Look how much momentum. He almost flips the back wheel of Ramsey as he goes by, and that puts him on the inside for another pass. These guys, they just know how the track's developing, and they're able to keep their momentum better. And if they have to go over a berm just to keep their momentum, they go over it. And it takes some of the guys who don't ride here all the time a few laps to dial all that in. Kevin's getting a good lesson right now.
Nathan Ramsey is now slid back to 5th place. Doug Henry goes into 4th, and Kevin Windham sniffing at that 5th right now. Windham, number 14, sitting right behind his fellow Honda rider, Nathan Ramsey. And Ramsey this time decides to go to the inside line, and Kevin has a little bit of a problem on the outside.
Well, he got out wide, but those big 450s, you can get out wide and all that mucky stuff they pushed off from yesterday, and that thing will still wheelie. That's a good bike for here. I'm not sure how it feels in all this tight stuff, but the way the sand is today, a lot more wheel spin than normal, and those bikes are hooking up good. You see Kevin reaching up to pull that tearaway, and having a tough time trying to see out there. He's got another inside line, so Ramsey just continues to leave that door open, and he's just working his way back. Now here comes Fonseca and Reed. Reed got a terrible start. Expected him to really get something going here at Southwick, a track where he was so aggressive and fast last year, even with a separated shoulder. But nobody's touching this kid. He's gone.
By the way, Ricky Carmichael is your leader as we look at the running board. It's Carmichael, Ferry, Dowd, and Henry back to Southwick in just a moment.
Power of possibilities.
Welcome back to Southwick, Massachusetts, as American Suzuki presents Motocross 338. Todd Harris along with David Bailey and Cameron Steele. Your leader continues to be number 4, Ricky Carmichael.
Been so aggressive everywhere. Every time he comes by, he just looks like he's going faster than everybody else. He's putting a couple of seconds a lap at times on Tim Ferry. He's running in second right now, and he's already got about, I was looking to see where Reed was. He's about 40 seconds down already on Carmichael. That's how fast he's going.
Chad Reed, number 22, now coming into view, working on Nathan Ramsey right there, and this has got to be a bit frustrating for Chad Reed. Certainly not going the way the Supercross Tour did.
Now, he's had a tough time trying to get comfortable in the outdoors. You know, Ricky and Chad had that real good battle coming all the way down to the wire in Supercross, and Chad put all of his eggs in the Supercross basket, kind of gave up the outdoor setup a little bit. Ricky, on the other hand, he's had plenty of years. Nice move around the outside of Ramsey. Finally, somebody passed him on the outside. And, you know, but Chad's first year in the 250 class, there goes LaRocco around as well. Chad doesn't have a bike set up where he can go, okay, let's just get it close like Ricky could. So he's a little behind the 8 ball here and trying to work his way into things, but he's losing a lot of points in the process. Look how aggressive he had to be to get around Ramsey right here. Ramsey easily could have just shoved him over the berm. Chad's like, forget it. I'm so far back anyway, I'm taking the chance. And he ended up making Ramsey make a mistake. LaRocco has been moving up fast. Both he and Reed getting terrible starts. Henry just making little mistakes here and there. He wasn't able to get over that double. That lets LaRocco by. He's still going fast. I don't think he's getting tired. Just at this pace, which is tough to practice by yourself. You know, there's little things you got to learn and get used to. And he's finding that out right now. You make a mistake against these guys, and you're already riding as fast as you can. Where are you going to get it back? Just don't.
Mike LaRocco now moves into 5th place. Doug Henry slides to 6th place. And here I think it's starting to show Doug Henry's possible fitness level. I mean, the guy's a great rider, no question about it, but when you're not riding the circuit, it's tough, as you said, David, to practice this kind of speed.
There's very few riders that can just all of a sudden show up and ride at this pace. Doug is one of them, but the little mistakes, not so much from fitness, but just the concentration at the pace, you know? And LaRocco just muscling his way to the inside, going, if you're going to pass me, you better find something pretty impressive on the outside. Doug couldn't find it.
Hey, remember, happy breathe, look ahead, think ahead, and have fun. And I love you. I love you.
Well, it's a family affair for the Henrys, and there's Stacy out there, man of the pit board, and by far the best-looking person in the pit row.
Yep, she's the hottest mechanic. We'll give her that. What I like about Doug and his wife is that he's saying, remind me to look ahead and think ahead and breathe and relax. And those are all things you need if you're planning on doing really well. And Doug is able to come into this season a lot more prepared than he was last time with bigger expectations. And it looks like he expects to run up front in the top 3 or 4. 2 minutes flat, a couple seconds faster than Ferry.
Mike Gosler has set it down to Cameron Steele. Well, Mike, when he went by just now, we heard him. Woo! This guy's having fun today.
Yeah, I was hollering at him. He's hollering back. He's having a good time.
That's awesome. What do the lap times say? Is there anybody that's been even close all weekend?
I haven't really been paying attention to anybody else's right now, but we got a lot of lappers out there. It kind of fluctuates a couple of 3 seconds.
Good to be the king, isn't it?
He's awesome.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, he's been getting his through the lap rider is pretty good. The only problem with the lap rider here is that, you know, if you get stuck behind a guy a little bit longer than usual, it's vision, you know? So you're just like, get out of the way, please. And it's not easy in these conditions. I mean, look at how rough the track is. When do you want to take your hand off the handlebar and fix that? It's not like a Supercross where you're in the air all the time. You can reach up no problem. Here, you got to take a little bit of a risk to reach up and try to see where you're going.
Carmichael makes quick work of another lapper, but as you pointed out, David, the roosting that you take there is difficult, and this track is getting brutal. Carmichael's starting to feel pretty good about it. One of the few times I've ever heard him cheer himself on during a race.
Well, he was having fun in practice this morning. Yesterday was a little bit different. I saw him sitting on the step of the semi and just in a daze. He didn't look all that happy, but I'll bet you he's happy now.
Ricky Carmichael picks up the win here in Moto number 1 from Southwick, and that's going to set up a great duel for Moto number 2. Look at this. John Dowd has snuck into second place, and he will pick up a second place finish.
Ferry coming across right there going, man, what is wrong with me? I know better than that. He must have made a mistake somewhere in the last lap. I didn't catch it. Take a look here. He gets a little bit washed out to the inside, goes right up over the banners. Good job to save it and not go down, but he lost his balance in the first place, and that's what moved Dowd up a spot.
We'll step aside, and when we come back, we'll talk with Ricky Carmichael after this short break.
Swap for men cleans just as good as her brand for less.
One of the most loved riders ever to race motocross, Doug Henry made a name for himself in 1991 when he won the infamous Hangtown Mud Race as a privateer. It would take 2 more years for Henry to burst on the scene, winning the 1993 and 94 125 national titles for Team Honda. Doug got his first 250 motocross win at Mount Morris in 1995. But 3 weeks later, he had one of the most terrifying crashes in AMA Motocross history. Henry would somehow rehab and return from this broken back injury. He would gain momentum after becoming the first rider to win a 250 Supercross on a 4-stroke at the 97 finale in Vegas. However, just when things looked up, adversity struck again as Henry broke both arms at Budds Creek, Maryland. Henry worked hard again and not only rode but dominated the 1998 250 National with 5 wins en route to his first 250 championship. That 1998 campaign was highlighted with the win at the very track that has put his career on hold twice. These days, Doug Henry still rides and competes. The Connecticut native comes out once a year to his home track national and is still very competitive. Just ask Ricky Carmichael. When he is not racing, Doug maintains his farm and is in the process of building a house for his wife and biggest supporter, Stacy. The Henrys have 2 children, daughter Brianna and son Ian. And John Dowd finishing up second place in Moto number 1. A great run for him despite the very difficult conditions. But your winner in Moto number 1, none other than number 4, Ricky Carmichael, making it hard for the rest of the pack. Let's send it down to Cameron.
Well, Ricky, just the way you like it, winning it, but I bet you would have preferred the whole shot. Looking at you, there's a lot of roost going on out there.
There was, you know, but I got a great start. You know, I think I was the only 2-stroke other than Henry, but everything was really good. You know, I got out there and got out front, and it was good.
What about the track? Is it good for racing for everybody, or Dowdy and Henry maybe have an advantage because they're from around here? You love the sand, though, don't you?
I love the sand. You know, I grew up on it, and I'll tell you, you know, Dowdy's really, really good here, and I mean, he's good everywhere, but he especially shines here, and I knew he was going to be tough, but I wasn't sure about Henry. He's really fast, but, man, when you're not racing a lot, it's hard to come off, you know, and get in the pace with us, but hats off to everybody.
Right on. Great job, Ricky. We'll see you in Moto 2.
Thanks a lot.
So as we take a look at the Honda official results, it's Ricky Carmichael, your winner, followed by Dowd, Ferry, Windham, and Mike LaRocco, a top 5 finish. There's Doug Henry in 6th. Chad Reed goes to 7th. Fonseca goes to 8th. Ezra Lusk does not crack the top 10. And Larry Ward, who got a great start, ends up in 13th place. Right now, let's send it back down to Cameron Steele, who's standing by with John Dowd.
Well, check this out. The Junkyard Dog, John Dowd, in 2nd place at Southwick. I mean, I'm not surprised it was at this track, though, John.
Well, I'm pretty psyched. I mean, I was a little surprised, too. You know, I mean, there's a lot of tough guys in the class this year. It's real deep, and got some sand in my throat. But it's great. You know, the last couple weeks I had some bad luck, and we had a couple, you know, mechanical problems and stuff, and it just feels great to put in a good ride here. I hope I can come back in the second one and do something.
Well, Timmy, a 3rd place in Moto number 1. It looks like you had 2nd all sealed up. What happened there?
I just kind of tucked the front wheel, and I went off the track, and there was banners all the way on the inside, and I just kept going, you know, in between the wall and the banners, and Dowd just went around the outside. And I kind of handed it to him, but, you know, he definitely earned it. It was like good, that moto, and for him to go up and race with the top factory guys is pretty impressive.
Hey, if you get the opportunity, join us live all through the month of July. We're going to some great tracks, Redbud, Troy, Unadilla. You don't want to miss out. Join us if you can. Right now, it's time for the Racer X Pit Pass. When we return to Southwick, it's time for the SUZUKI Fast Lap and Moto number 2.
View provider to order.
All right, kids, put down the Harry the Bear book. It's time for the best part of the outdoor national circuit. Well, actually, my favorite part, the SUZUKI Fast Lap, where I take the bike out and I put a camera on my helmet and I go out and show you guys what the track looks like in layman's terms. What does that mean? That means I'm not as fast as the pros, so take it easy on me. Don't throw rocks. Let's go check out the sand at Southwick. We get started off the asphalt into an uphill starting straight, a hard right turn, and then into tons of whoops along straightaway. Take you back into the sweeper, first sweeper of the section, and then you're going to get into hard left, hard right, and into the next tabletop. Downhill after the tabletop, I like the inside line. You can see it's already getting loamy on the gas, sliding out. Left-hand turn real quick. This is going to send you up to the old finish line jump. Little air time. Then pick a line. They'll get rough. Inside line here. Little bump over the top. You can see the water on the track from the rainy, but I think the lines will get good. And this is traditionally the deepest corner. I can't even pick the line. And then up into a left. Out of the left, you have the choice. Do you do the double jump? There's not really a lip. Guys will be hitting it, though. Then a right-hand uphill sweeper, over a hill, left-hand turn, tabletop, over a gap jump, and then you're headed towards the new section. Over this hill takes you into the new section. It's a downhill, lots of brakey bumps. You're going to have to get a line and stick it, get on the gas fast, and then a sweeper left-hander. There's going to be multiple lines here, but you want to not get checked. And this, you got to get on the gas. You got to try to hold your line. This is the finish line jump, but we're going to keep on going into this right-hand turn and take you a little farther. You've seen the checkers, but there's a step-down jump and then a left-hand turn that goes away from you. Lots of braking bumps coming into the small jump, up the hill past mechanics, and then a right-hand turn takes you back on the track, and that's your SUZUKI Fast Lap.
All right, well done, Cameron. We are back at Southwick. Before we get started on Moto number 2, let's check in with Cameron Steele.
Well, guys, we're getting set for Moto number 2 in the 250s, and in Moto number 1, I talked about a local rider named Doug Henry, but what about the guy that stole the show, the number 16 KTM, the junkyard dog, John Dowd? He was second overall in 2001 in the 250s, and he won this race in 1998 on the 125s. We'll see what he's got for Ricky Carmichael and the rest of the boys in Moto number 2.
Words of encouragement from Doug Henry's wife, Stacy. You're nuts. I don't know if that's encouraging or not, but they're having a good time. I noticed this between motos. Doug was washing his own bike and with a big smile.
As we take a look at the Suzuki starting grid here for 250 Moto number 2, remind you that Ricky Carmichael was the winner in Moto number 1, followed by John Dowd and TIMMY FERRY. 30 board is sideways, and we are off here at Southwick. This is Moto number 2. Kevin Windham on the outside. This time, David, a much better start. Last time he was back in the pack around 8. Windham right to the front.
There was no question about that, and Doug Henry right there.
Carmichael right now sits in 5th, and 2 Yamaha riders go down. On the inside line, I don't know if that was Tim Ferry or who that clipped that pole, but it was just a chain reaction.
Doug Henry laying up there to the top left of your screen. He tried to do something there that it was a little bit risky, trying to get around Kevin Windham. He's not going to leave you room. Doug tried to find some, and it's one race a year that he doesn't have time to wait. You know, he was going for it right there. It just looked like he may have caught a tire to the edge of the racetrack, flipped him sideways, and Ramsey was lucky to get by, but it took Ferry out.
So Ricky Carmichael, who was in 5th as they went in that first turn, goes into 2nd. We're looking at one more time.
Watch it. Look how far he flies. He lands right in the hole, clips. Now he didn't get to clip a tire. He just pushed so bad, then Ferry hits him. Carmichael, so lucky, along with his teammate Fonseca, to slip through. Another look right from the back. Just pretend if you're Ferry right here, number 15. Look at this. Just a motorcycle. Bam! Runs right into him. Ramsey kind of ran up over Doug. For Ferry, it was hard to say.
And then the carnage behind a complete sig alert after Ferry goes down. Meanwhile, out in front, it's Kevin Windham, your leader, followed by Ricky Carmichael. We've seen this duo get together before, David. This is some phenomenal racing.
Kevin just railing that right-hand berm after the finish on the big 450. Railing that one as well, but no matter what he does, Carmichael is still there.
Why walk? Del Sol Cruisers. Trek mountain or road. GT mountain bikes. Hoffman and Hurrow BMX. Carve Stick. Bike Factory. Why walk when you can roll? Located at the corner of Alamoana Boulevard and Cook Street.
Back to Southwick, Mass. as American Suzuki presents Motocross 338, and this is Doug Henry moments ago.
Sorry. No, what'd you do? I think something may be there. My asphalt. Look at my ring.
I know. You want to take it off?
No.
Wow.
Well, that ends his day early, but wow, Ricky Carmichael goes for the move. A little mistake by Windham through all those ruts. He couldn't double out of that. And Ricky's just close enough always to take advantage of any mistake. It actually causes riders in front of him to make mistakes. And here we go again. This time Kevin's got a lot better opportunity to try and stay with him and learn a little bit as Chad Reed continues to try to work his way up. Not the greatest start, a lot better than the first moto, though.
Well, I think he's fortunate he just kept the rubber side down as his teammate Timmy Ferry went down hard right into Henry. And look at that, inside out right on Larry Ward.
Watch Kevin, he's going to struggle just a little bit in the bottom right there. He gets mixed up, cross-rutted, downshift. He's got to just let Ricky Carmichael jump over his head. But now, you know, it's early in the race. Kevin's got plenty of time to come back on it.
Well, this is moto number 2, and the track conditions, David, somewhat brutal. Larry Ward trying to stay in the pace, as is Chad Reed, but your leader right now continues to be Ricky Carmichael, and the rest of the field trying to move up, including that man, number 5, Mike LaRocco.
That was a nice move he made on Larry Ward, his Lusk day. Just, you can see the way he's got his head tilted. It's just like, you know, I'm not even into it. It just doesn't look like he's into it. You know, I see him in the pits, and it's just a different look.
Ezra Lusk finished 11th in moto number 1. Meanwhile, more passing taking place. This is number 16 on the KTM. That's JOHN DOWD, finished 2nd in moto number 1. Here's the guy to look out for if he can move up in the pack.
They're not that far behind Carmichael right now. Kevin's struggling to get his lines and everything sorted out. Dowd, he's already dialed in. You can see the lead they have on these guys. LaRocco and Reed pushing each other, trying to get to the front. And for either one of them to finish on the podium today, I don't think it's going to happen. So the championship is slipping away from Reed. LaRocco is a little further back than that in the first place, but I don't know. This guy is just dominating.
Let's check in with Cameron.
Well, Doug, definitely not where you want to be on the sidelines of the track. What happened?
I was just trying to get inside Kevin for the lead, and I just kind of overjumped the jump, and I don't know if I landed in a hole or my handlebar maybe caught a tire or something, and I went down, and you know, it's right there. I mean, people just I was right in the middle of the track, and people just ran all over me, but I'm all right. I think I'm going to have a real sore bump for a while, and I may have broken something in my hand, but I think other than that, I'm fine. Yeah, no big deal other than that. Yeah. Here's Dowd's pass on Kevin Windham. Just the section before they came over that hill is very rutted. I think Kevin was trying to look for a good line, and Dowd was going, I don't care how good it looks, just as long as it's faster and creates an opportunity for him to get by. And then LaRocco had been hounding Chad Reed. Surprised me, he's able to get by him. This is where he did it, just chopped off the berm to the inside, the same way he passed Larry Ward.
Right now, let's send it down to Cameron Steele, who's in the pit. Here checking out the number 66 bike, the three-time gold medalist from the X Games, Blair Morgan. We had some time to check in with him away from the track. Let's see what he had to say.
Hi, I'm Blair Morgan, multi-time snowcross champion, three-time X Games gold medalist. Welcome to my world.
One more time, your champion, Blair Morgan.
I mean, the snowcross racing is, you know, living in Canada, have to put the bikes away in the wintertime and bring out the sleds. I've raced motocross longer than I have been racing snowcross, and, you know, it's always kind of my dream to be, you know, pretty good at motocross. And, you know, it's kind of cool that I'm able to balance it, you know, with maybe just riding like some outdoor stuff and in the summertime, and then I can do my whole snowcross season in the winter. Get frost in between my lenses. Typically, on a normal snowcross weekend, just like Moto, we race, or we ride practice on Saturday, and then we race all on Sunday with our qualifiers and heat races. And we have a 440 class and an open class where we race both classes, kind of like a 125, 250 class. You may recognize this guy as Tucker Hibbert, my main competitor in the snowcross series. Races the motocross in the summer on the AMA Series 425, and he rides for the green team, Team Arctic. Since he came on board like 3 years ago, and been battles ever since.
Snowcross, we're real close, and you know, always pass each other and battling and fighting for the win. So it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy that type of racing, and it's better for the fans and the, you know, the sport, the industry, and it makes it more fun and interesting for us as riders too.
Well, this is my motocross bike in the winter. This is my mod sled. It's kind of like a 250 compared to a 125. A 440 is kind of like a 125, and the open sled's like a 250. It's a lot more power than a 440, and it's got 150, 155 horsepower, and it's quite a lot. You know, it weighs about 450 pounds compared to a bike like 220. I don't think I'd be as successful as I am in snowcross without my motocross background. You know, I think I am kind of like Ricky, where I hate to lose, and you know, if I don't win, even if I get second, I hate it.
Champion, Blair Morgan.
Extremes, you know, between the snowcross and the motocross might be like if you're preparing for like a 110-degree day where, you know, you got to drink a lot of water. You know, it's so hot out and it's unbearable. Whereas right now it's unbearably cold right now, so you know, you just got to dress warm and make sure all your stuff is dry and not wet. So yeah, I bet that's, you know, just two total extremes right there.
Oh, it's a battle indeed here at Southwick, Mass, and Ricky Carmichael is holding court right now. Number 4 on board the Honda is your leader, but in the back, they're starting to battle for positions on the podium, David.
Well, it's Tim Ferry following Larry Ward. Doesn't follow him exactly. He's trying to take a slightly different line here and there. Hopefully, that's how it works. You got to put the pressure on, take a slightly different line. And man, he has got a lot of practice in coming through the passing people after he went down. The next thing, it seemed like the 3rd or 4th lap, he was already up into 10th. So he is one of the fastest riders on the track right now, but once again, having to come from behind and watch Ricky run away with it.
Well, Carmichael's in first. This is the battle for second place. Number 14 is Kevin Windham right there. Right in front of him is John Dowd. Dowd got a second place in Moto number 1, so he is looking to go possibly 2-2. Windham trying to disrupt that party, currently sitting in 3rd.
Well, when Dowd got by him early, I thought Windham, you know, this isn't his best track, but I was a big fan of Kevin Windham before. I'm a bigger fan of the new Kevin Windham, and he is really putting the pressure on.
Dowd on board the KTM. Windham coming in, and look at Windham carrying the speed down the hill.
That's his 4th year wide open on a 450. He was running out of room as well up over that berm, carrying so much speed, and it looks like he's got the job done. There's a lot more fight and heart than I've ever seen from Kevin Windham here at Southwick.
So Windham sits in 2nd place. John Dowd sits in 3rd, and your leader is Ricky Carmichael. For Kevin Windham, The first race, not the best performance for him. His finish was down in the field. He finished in 4th off the podium. Let's look at his pass one more time. First by Tim Ferry.
Well, just getting to the inside of Larry Ward. I mean, look at the difference in their bodies. You can see who means business is going a little bit faster and in good control. Ferry just making that inside work, and then Kevin down the washboard section here at the wick, pinned in 4th gear, running out of room. Make that look easy and stylish. I didn't think he had the energy and the speed to get back around John Dowd. Very crafty here at Southwick, but Kevin wants it. And they're a lot closer to Ricky this time, but it doesn't matter. It looks like he can just cruise this last lap. Probably yell at Gosler again to the mechanics area and pick up another moto win.
Ricky Carmichael, your leader. This is the white flag lap. Meanwhile, Kevin Windham sits in 2nd place. A 4 and a 2, not a bad weekend for Windham. He can hold on to that 2nd place ahead of John Dowd, who sits in 3rd on board his KTM.
Yeah, but a 4 and a 2 compared to a 1 and a 1. Yeah. Well, Ricky's points lead is approaching 50, which would be an entire race, and we're only 4 races in, so that shows you his domination. Only lost 1 moto, and that was to Kevin. Kevin will be fast in the series next week at Budds Creek, but here at Southwick, man, it's pretty tough to stop Carmichael. He expects to win this race more than any other.
4th straight 250 victory here at the Wick. Ricky Carmichael practically owns this town. Call him Mayor Carmichael, because number 4 on board the Honda is running away with yet another victory here at Southwick.
And Jeff Stanton watching, just like in Daytona, going, well, that's another record he just tied. It's only a year away from besting it.
It doesn't matter the surface, David. It doesn't matter the course. It doesn't matter what you put the kid on. Ricky Carmichael is just fast, and there's no one that can touch him right now.
If it's a motocross, or a supercross race, and they're out there on their bikes going fast, Ricky is usually the fastest. Yesterday, it didn't matter. It was muddy. He knew the conditions would change. He was quick. He wasn't the quickest. Didn't really impress me that much, but when it counts, man, this kid comes up big.
90. That's the number you want to drill into your head, and I'm sure it's going to increase the coming week. 90 wins, AMA all-time leader. Number 4, Ricky Carmichael, and he picks up another win here at Southwick.
Number 91, and Kevin Windham. It looks like he's got John Dowd back there, and he's going to be able to hang on to 2nd. Ricky just has this 1 more corner. Kevin's approaching it, but too late.
So Ricky Carmichael comes to Southwick one more time and claims yet another victory. Carmichael, your winner, Moto number 2. He puts that with his win in Moto number 1, and he is the overall winner. Kevin Windham, now, he will come in for a strong showing, 4th place in Moto number 1. He'll get a 2nd here in Moto 2, and John Dowd, a 2nd and a 3rd. For a guy we don't see a lot of throughout the year, David, he did a great job on board his KTM.
Well, and because of Kevin's 4th place, that first moto, look at Kevin. He's like, how old are you again? You know, what a ride by Dowd. You know, it's great to see the older guys come out here and run with these young kids.
As we take a look at the Honda official results, Ricky Carmichael, your winner, followed by Kevin Windham, and Dowd takes 3rd place. What a great day of racing here at Southwick and the Suzuki Motocross 338. Let's check in now with Cameron Steele, who's down with our winner, the one and only Ricky Carmichael.
Well, guys, if I'm not mistaken, that's 18 overall victories in a row in the 250 class. Ricky Carmichael, flawless today. Was it awesome out there?
Oh, it was good, Cameron. The track was good, man. We got a lot of rain yesterday, and it ended up being really, really good. You know, the track promoters changed the track and new design. It was really fun, and, man, I got some awesome starts today. Helped me out a lot.
Awesome starts. I want to ask you about that. I think in Moto number 1, I saw that you started out of the groove. Did you do that in Moto number 2, and what was the thinking behind that?
Well, I don't know. I think like in that groove there was a little slippery and it was wet, and I wanted to get up on some dry concrete, and ended up working out good for me. I think, you know, I was like 3rd or 4th there, and Henry hit that jump, same one he did the first moto, and took himself out and Ferry. So that I got in a 2nd just like that. Kind of got a gift given to me, but I took it anyway.
That's what it matters. At the end of the day is the win. Congratulations, Ricky, on another brilliant race.
Thanks a lot, Cameron. It feels good. Definitely got to thank Honda, Dunlop, Fox, Oakley, man, everybody. Gatorade, Aeronaut, Teague. Everything's just awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, it's always awesome, David, when you have a 1-1 next to your name. That's what it goes down for Ricky Carmichael. Dowd will get 2nd. Windham will get 3rd by virtue of that 4-2. And we want to congratulate Blair Morgan, who finishes 18th overall. A great run for him at Southwick. Let's send it back down to Cameron, who's with the JYD.
Well, John, a repeat of 2001, a second overall. That's got to feel pretty good. It's been a while.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm stoked. You know, this, like I said before, these guys are all really fast. The class is real deep. And I'm just psyched. Like I said, the first moto there, we had some problems the last few weeks. And first of all, I'm stoked to do 2 motos in a row. And, you know, it's a home track. What can I say? You know, the fans and everything are great. And, you know, the bike worked great. The KTM worked good. The factory connection suspension, Pirelli tires got me off the gates good. And, I don't know, I was just able to kind of run with these guys a little bit today. It was fun.
When Windham got by you there towards the end of the moto, were you worried about it, or did you know that you had the second overall regardless of how that finish went?
I kind of knew I had the second overall, but at the same time, I would have liked to try to get another spot there. But I think, you know, when I passed him earlier on, he kind of tagged on me. He might have caught onto some good lines or something. And, you know, I noticed I wasn't getting away from him, and now I was starting to get worried. So.
Great job on the turn at KTM. It was brilliant watching you ride today.
Yeah, this is great, man. It's always fun to come back to Southwick.
As the fans file out, we take a look at the AMA U.S. Motocross point standings. Carmichael with a huge lead. Then it's Windham, Reed, Ferry, and LaRocco. Let's go back down to Cameron.
Well, Kevin, a third place overall, not a bad finish for a guy that doesn't ride a ton of sand. I don't think they have too much sand in Mississippi.
No, the dirt back home's definitely got a lot of traction in it. And, you know, I came into this race just hoping to do the best I could. We, Factory Connection, Honda, show up, Factory Connection suspension, everybody came together this week to try to get me the best results I can. I'm happy with my performance and looking forward to next weekend.
The track seems hard to race on. I mean, you got by JOHN DOWD towards the end of that race, but the roost must just be brutal to eat.
Yeah, definitely. I'm bringing a lot of it home. I got a lot of it in my boots. I got a lot of it in my sand. So when I get home, I just dump my boots out and my pants and everything, and maybe I'll have a sand section on my track for next year.
Right on. Great job, Kevin. We'll see you at the next round.
Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you, Cameron. A quick programming note. Noon Saturday, you'll see the 125 show from Bud's Creek. Noon Sunday, the 250 show. And, of course, those times are Eastern. Check your local listing. So on behalf of Cameron Steele and the champ, David Bailey, I'm Todd Harris, saying so long from Southwick, Massachusetts. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.